Welcome to the new You series. Please hit the like and notification buttons and smash the subscribe button. Have you ever stopped to wonder how much screen time affects your mental health? It's a question that's increasingly relevant in this digital age. We wake up to the buzz of our smartphones, spend our days in front of computers, and unwind by binge-watching our favorite shows. But what might be the cost of our screen-soaked lives? Research suggests that there's a significant correlation between increased screen time and mental health issues. It's a fact that's hard to ignore, especially when you consider that the average person clocks in more than 7 hours of screen time every day. That's right, 7 hours. That's more than the time we spend eating, exercising, or even socializing. This constant exposure to digital screens can have a profound effect on our brains. For example, excessive screen time can interfere with our sleep patterns. The blue light emitted by screens suppresses the production of melatonin, a hormone that controls our sleep-wake cycle. As a result, we find it harder to fall asleep at night, leading to insufficient rest, which in turn can have a detrimental effect on our mental well-being. Furthermore, studies indicate that high levels of screen time can lead to symptoms of anxiety and depression, especially in young adults. The constant barrage of information, the pressure to keep up with social media, and the addictive nature of many online activities can leave us feeling stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed. Over time, these feelings can develop into more serious mental health issues. Screen time can also affect our ability to focus and concentrate. The instant gratification that we get from online interactions can rewire our brains to seek out quick rewards, making it more difficult for us to engage in tasks that require sustained attention. And let's not forget the impact on our social skills. While technology has made it easier to connect with others, it's also made it easier to avoid face-to-face interactions. This can result in feelings of isolation and loneliness, another risk factor for mental health issues. So, as we can see, the more time we spend on screens, the more our mental health can suffer. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to what the experts have to say. Dr. Jane Greenfield, a leading psychologist, states, "The human brain isn't designed to absorb the amount of information we're exposed to on our screens every day. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose, and that can lead to anxiety, stress, and even depression." Neuroscientist Dr. Robert King underscores the point with his research. He says, "Excessive screen time can alter our brain's reward system, making us less sensitive to real-life experiences. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and disconnection in our daily lives." And from the world of child psychology, renowned expert Dr. Sophie Brown warns, "Children and young adults are particularly vulnerable to the negative impacts of excessive screen time. Their brains are still developing, and too much screen time can impede this crucial process, leading to issues like attention deficit disorders and social anxiety." But it's not just mental health professionals who are raising the alarm. Tech industry insiders like former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris are also voicing their concerns. Harris cautions, "Our devices are engineered to keep us hooked. It's not just about willpower, it's about recognizing that these devices are designed to monopolize our attention." Even the World Health Organization has weighed in on the matter. They recommend no more than 2 hours of recreational screen time per day for young adults, highlighting the importance of balance in our digital lives. So it's clear that experts from various fields agree on one thing: too much screen time can negatively impact our mental health. And while screens are an integral part of our lives, it's essential to understand their potential dangers. To sum up, in the words of Dr. Linda Stone, a pioneer in the field of technology and psychology, it's not about demonizing screens, but about using them wisely. We need to be conscious consumers of our digital lives for our mental well-being. As we've heard from the experts, it's crucial to be mindful of our screen time for the sake of our mental health. And it's not just our minds that are affected by excessive screen time, our bodies also bear the brunt of this digital onslaught. Let's take our eyes, for instance. Ever heard of digital eye strain? It's a real thing. Staring at screens for extended periods can cause discomfort, dryness, and even blurred vision. Then, there's our posture. Hunching over devices can lead to all sorts of skeletal misalignments. We're talking about neck and shoulder pain, and even long-term issues like kyphosis, commonly known as the dowager's hump. And let's not forget about our sleep. The blue light emitted by screens can mess with our body's natural sleep rhythms, leading to insomnia or poor quality sleep. So, is it worth it to sacrifice our physical well-being for a few extra minutes of screen time? The answer is clear. As we can see, both our physical and mental health can suffer from too much screen time. So how can we start to limit our screen time and improve our mental health, you might be asking? Well, it's not as challenging as it may seem. Here are a few practical tips to help you on your journey. Firstly, let's consider setting screen time limits. Most devices today come with built-in features that allow you to monitor and limit your daily screen time. You can set a daily limit for each app or the entire device. For example, you might decide to use your favorite social media app for only 1 hour each day. When that hour is up, your device will remind you that it's time to switch off. Next, make sure to take regular breaks. A good rule of thumb is the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look away from your screen for 20 seconds and focus on something that's about 20 feet away. This simple trick can help reduce eye strain and give your mind a quick rest. Another great strategy is to find offline hobbies. This could be anything from painting, reading a book, going for a walk, or learning a new instrument. Engaging in these activities not only helps reduce screen time but also stimulates different parts of your brain, improving mental health in the process. Additionally, try to create a device-free zone at home. This could be a specific room or a time of day when screens are off limits. For instance, the dining room could be a screen-free zone during meals, or perhaps you could establish the first hour after you get home from work as a device-free time. You could also consider tech-free days. Choose one day a week where you turn off your devices and dedicate the day to offline activities. It might feel strange at first, but think of it as a digital detox. By implementing these strategies, we can start to take control of our screen time and improve our mental health. Remember, it's not about completely eliminating screen time, it's about finding a healthy balance that works for you. But what happens when we do start to limit our screen time? Just as too much of a good thing can be harmful, moderation in screen time can be surprisingly beneficial. So let's dive into what happens when we decide to unplug a bit more. Firstly, we see improvements in the quality of our sleep. You see, screens emit a blue light that can disrupt our natural sleep patterns. By reducing our exposure to this light, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime, we allow our bodies to follow their natural rhythms, leading to a more restful night's sleep. And we all know how important a good night's sleep is for our overall well-being. Next up, we have mood enhancement. By stepping away from screens, we're not only reducing exposure to potential stressors like negative news or social media comparison, but we're also freeing up time for activities that boost our mood. This could be anything from reading a book to going for a walk, or even just having a chat with a friend. And then there's productivity. Now I know what you're thinking. Don't we need screens for work and school? Sure, but think about how often you find yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media or falling down a YouTube rabbit hole. By setting boundaries for our screen time, we can redirect our focus towards more meaningful tasks, leading to increased productivity and a greater sense of accomplishment. Of course, these are just a few of the benefits. Others include improved vision, better posture, and even enhanced social skills. And remember, we're not saying you should ditch screens altogether. They're a valuable part of our modern lives. But by being more mindful about how we use them, we can reap the benefits and mitigate the negatives. As we can see, limiting screen time can have a huge impact on our mental and physical health. So, why not give it a try? You might be surprised at the difference it can make. So, are you ready to take the first step towards better mental health? It's time to make a change, not just for the sake of change, but for the sake of your well-being. The gadgets and screens that we're so attached to, they're not going anywhere. But it's in our hands to control how much we let them control us. Take a moment to think about all the things you could be doing instead of scrolling through endless feeds. Perhaps you could be exploring new hobbies, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking a walk in the park. It's not about vilifying technology, it's about finding the right balance. This change won't happen overnight. It's a journey, and every small step you take towards better mental health counts. Start today, start now. Remember, your mental health matters. Limit your screen time, prioritize your well-being, and see the difference it can make in your life.